Welcome to your own YouTube channel, Dream and Do. First of all, subscribe to channel and like the video. Let's dive into story. This science fiction story begins by showing the time when many scientists working in a private organization were working on a project. In fact, their main goal was to create some humans who were not at all like humans. That is, they should have emotions like humans, but their brain and healing factor should be much more than a normal human. By doing all this planning, all the scientists were continuously experimenting, but all these things were not going to be so easy. That is why all of them together made a hybrid. We use this structure. Changes will have to be made in this entire structure up to the DNA and molecular level. First of all the scientists working in that private organization took the DNA of humans and put hybrid structures of many animals in it, such as their intelligence too. They keep including all the things in their test subjects which will provide strength to his body. Along with this, they had the advantage that they were also using nanotechnology on his entire circulatory system. Even those scientists have developed nanotechnology on nervous cells and nervous system. Also, on the system changes were made, which is a very critical and dangerous task. Now, after many months of hard work, they were able to create a small test subject, but in the beginning, his condition had become so bad that it was very difficult to control him. It happened that all the scientists were trying to keep him alive, but due to some mistake in their manipulation and creation, he becomes completely dead. In this way, after working for many months, when they create another test subject, then his body dies. The body was completely proper, but there was some strange wiring problem in the head of that test subject. And due to this, the test subject also died, but the scientists of that private company did not give up at all. They were fighting against their mistakes. He kept learning continuously, and in this way, he created the third subject. The most shocking thing was that this third subject was made absolutely perfectly. There was neither any deficiency nor any disability in it. It completely looked like a human child. But they all know the reality that he is not a human being, but this. So this is a hybrid child who had many powers, along with the qualities of humans. Which means that its simple meaning is that when this test subject grows up, all its expressions and thinking will be exactly like humans because it has human DNA included in it. But along with this, the brain of this test subject will be much sharper than them, and the abilities to fight any disease will be much more than a normal human. Even it can beat Wolven in terms of healing factor. But for the time being, so all the scientists who had worked hard for so many years became very happy. They had lovingly named their test subject Morgan, and now their only job is to raise Morgan well, so that they can do great things for the human civilization and help them. But they all had no idea that in the future, their creation will prove to be a burden on them. We will get to know this in a short while. But for now, all the scientists were very happy with their creation, and now slowly they started raising Morgan. Morgan's growth was much faster than other children, and looking at her, no one could even think that Morgan was not a human being. That whole group of scientists treated Morgan very well, and Morgan never felt that way. They used to tell them that they were not humans. It seemed as if Morgan was their daughter, and they took very good care of her. Out of all of them, a scientist named Dr. Amy was very close to Morgan. She always treated Morgan very well. She gets her treated and takes care of her. Now here, Amy brings Morgan to the forest as usual for a little stroll. A limit was set for Morgan that she cannot go outside this area of the forest because she does not feel comfortable with normal people. He is not used to being in the middle. Now, as soon as both of them moved forward, Morgan saw a deer which was lying down badly injured. Actually, it was attacked by a hunter, and that is why it ran here. Suddenly, Morgan goes to the deer and starts to hold it, as if she can feel the deer's entire pain. But in the next moment, in Morgan's throat, she caught the injured deer and broke it, meaning she killed it instantly. Amy was shocked to see this because Morgan did not have any such programs in which she could kill or kill anyone. Then the command to harm must have been written. After all, when all these things were not included, then why did Morgan do this? Amy immediately tells this to all her senior scientists and the whole group. They all also got very tensed, and they started checking their programs again. Now all those scientists will have to take some trick action on Morgan because in this way, she could kill anyone and even the senior members of the private company in which they work. They had to provide reports, so due to Morgan's changing behavior, she was sent to another room. Morgan was only 5 years old, but her body was growing very fast because she was completely different from humans. His entire nervous system is made up of a hybrid structure, but Morgan was not feeling good at all here in this small room. Because before this, she has spent a lot of time in an open space where she could do anything. That is why when all those scientists and Amy also interrogate Morgan, then she simply makes them feel that she is here, but she is not feeling good at all and wants to get out of here and live in free space somehow. But the entire team of scientists were helpless. They were not able to understand how they could leave Morgan free, her changing behavior. Due to this, she could become a danger to anyone. To clarify these things, a fist goes inside that chamber to talk to Morgan. In the beginning, Morgan was talking normally, but she was very frustrated. Having been locked in this small room, she had to get out at any cost, That is why she attacks an investigation officer who had come inside and starts causing a lot of damage to him, causing a very deep injury on the officer's eye, due to which he had to be transferred to the hospital. And now from all these things, they had realized that Morgan was more dangerous than before. But all of them cannot perform these things with Morgan in this way, because even though Morgan is not a human being, the whole team of scientists raised her like their daughter, and they all performed all the things like a parent. That is why a scientist named John was not able to see Morgan in this way. But somewhere we see John talking to another officer who says that our project is going in the right direction. It means that there are some things that John and his team had decided by themselves, and they are moving in the right direction according to Morgan's behavior. Now here, this aggressive behavior of Morgan is known in the headquarters. So now for the deep investigation of all these things. The head members of the private company sent an officer to check them whose name is Dr. Lin. Actually, Lin is a very high-level officer who is in charge of many offices of this private company. She has solved all the illegal cases by discussing the whole matter very deeply. She used to take her own decision, and now it is the responsibility of Dr. Lin to go and take good care of Morgan and simply find out if Morgan can be a threat to humans or not, and if there is a risk of human beings getting affected due to Morgan. If any danger looms, Morgan will be completely destroyed. This is the final decision of the head members of that private company, and they started doing deep research on all the scientists present there who had created Morgan. Within a short time, Dr. Lin, she finds out that all the scientists have become very close to Morgan. They treat her like their family member and hide all her mistakes. This is something that Dr. Lin does not like at all. Maintaining an emotional connection with her is a very wrong thing. There was some work to be done. So Lin also goes to the officer who was attacked by Morgan and whose eye was damaged, but after questioning, the officer simply says that Morgan is not at fault in this. Rather, it was me who shot Morgan. Lin had also realized that all these people wanted to protect Morgan at any cost, whether it is Morgan's fault or not. All these things make Lin very angry, and she starts investigating her case more deeply. Now, to do a deep research on these things, the managers of that private company called Doctor. A psychologist named Alan was sent to him who will try to know about Morgan's mental condition by talking to him, Doctor. Alan will have to submit a complete report to his senior managers whether Morgan is right or not. Now, other scientists also come to know about these things. Dr. Allen had arrived there, and he asked Morgan to talk to him. Then John and other officers said that you can talk to Morgan only by staying on the other side of the mirror. This can be safe for you, but Dr. Allen does not believe this and decides to go inside and investigate. Now, after getting permission from the senior officer, it was difficult to stop Dr. Allen, so despite being refused, he went inside the chamber. He went there and started asking Morgan many questions. Dr. Allen started asking Morgan various questions which were related to psychology. Yes, Morgan was answering all the questions very calmly. She even apologized for her last time behavior and said that whatever I did with the officer was very wrong. Morgan also promises that next time this will not happen with time at all. I am improving my behavior and it can be completed as soon as possible. But here, Dr. Allen, who was a great psychologist, knew which questions can be asked to trigger any person. He was not expecting such a normal reply from Morgan. That is why Dr. Allen started asking different kinds of questions that if any normal person hears them, he will get very angry. Morgan now knows all these things. Allen was really making her angry. He even started saying to Morgan that if she could not prove anything, then her creators would burn her to death, meaning that her existence would end here. These things gradually made Morgan very angry. She was consoling her, and now she had started crying too. Dr. Allen also wanted that Morgan should show his true colors, and in the next moment, Morgan suddenly climbed on Allen and started pushing him and biting him on the neck. She would have almost killed Dr. Allen, but Dr. Allen was lying unconscious for the time being. Now here, Amy, John, and the others were also lying unconscious. The scientists who had created Morgan were very scared of seeing her in this form, and when Lynn and her senior officers came to know about this, Lynn gave them a simple command that all of you should kill Morgan right away. Kill him because he is one of your wrong experiments which can be dangerous for humans. Morgan is laid on a stretcher, which is completely tied up, and now all the scientists are performing the procedure as per Lynn's instructions. They were planning to kill Morgan, although none of the scientists had any intention of doing so because Morgan was like a daughter to them. But they had received this command from the private company they worked for. Then suddenly, a doctor named Duran appears. A scientist from the US stands against this, and he clearly tells Lynn that I will call you Morgan. I will not let anyone kill her. She is like my daughter, and I will keep protecting her. Due to all these things, Dr. Darren and Lynn start arguing with each other. They even started hitting each other. But in this whole fight, all the scientists unite and catch Lynn and lock her inside the same chamber where Morgan was kept, which means that they all are united and no one wants to kill Morgan. Now Amy and the others are here. The members had decided that we will go far away from here and take Morgan with us because the responsibility of its safety is on us. We will make it bigger and we will keep it in a good place. Now Morgan started shouting very loudly here that please leave me, let me go. I have to live my life. Seeing Morgan in such pain, Dr. Darren goes and frees her and tries to bring her back to consciousness. But here, as soon as Morgan opens her eyes, she screams at the doctor. She starts attacking Darren and finishes him off by causing heavy damage to him. Morgan even uses the weapons she had created. She also started attacking the creators and scientists who always cared for her. She even killed a scientist by injecting poison. Actually, the thing was that whatever questions Dr. Allen had asked Morgan, it was because of that. Morgan's emotions have been hurt a lot, although she was not completely human. But there were some emotions present inside her which were hurt a lot for the time being, and now Morgan does not consider anyone as her friend and does not want to come forward. Morgan keeps killing everyone, starting from Dr. John to her senior members, meaning that Morgan killed her creator in one go. These were all the scientists who treated Morgan like their daughter. But this form of Morgan is the most dangerous, in which there was no emotion and no mercy at all. Although Morgan left Amy because she considered Amy to be her closest friend and spent her childhood with her. Amy is the member of the team who has spent the most time with Morgan. This is the reason why Morgan did not hurt Amy at all and came to her and gave her a gun. Morgan was touching Amy lovingly as if she considered her mother. When Amy came to know that all her companions had been killed, so she was in a state of shock and she does not understand what to do. Morgan now tells her mother, Amy, that she wants to go to the Posse Lake because now Morgan is completely free and Amy has. So I had promised Morgan that if you cross your limits, then I will take you for a walk near the same lake. This is the reason why Morgan was repeatedly saying that she wants to go with you to the lakeshore to enjoy. So Amy is crying a lot while sitting in her car that what should she do in this situation? If she does something against Morgan, then Morgan can kill her also, which he did with all other members. For now, Amy is with Morgan. She sits in her car and starts going towards the lake. Now we see in the laboratory where Lynn has also regained consciousnness. She frees herself by any means and goes with one of her companions to kill Morgan because she had received orders from her senior officer to kill Morgan as soon as possible because it is a field experiment that can be dangerous for humans. The more time Morgan gets, the more he will grow and his powers can increase a lot. So this is the best time for Lynn to kill Morgan. She immediately tells her partner to kill her. And now, while continuously tracking Morgan's location, she reaches the shore of the lake, which means that the company people had made all the arrangements beforehand. They had put a tracker in Morgan's body, which, with the help of technology, his location can be traced, and using the same technology. Lynn found Morgan. Both of them started fighting with each other a lot. Morgan was very angry, and she accused Lynn of abusing her. She jumped and attacked. Although Dr. Lynn is very agile, Morgan was not a human being, but a hybrid structure made of nanoparticles, in which, along with the abilities of humans, there were many other things, and no normal human can face these things. Although by using her fighting skills, Lynn survives for some time, but Morgan attacks her in this way. While she was attacking with a knife, a sharp dagger entered Lynn's body from behind. Lynn was in a lot of pain, and a lot of blood started coming out of her body. Morgan understood that now Lynn is not going to survive, so she went to her mother Amy's house. She goes with him, but here it is revealed that Lynn is not dead yet. She had just got a little injury. That's why she came from behind and caught Morgan and kept on attacking him continuously without giving him a chance to kill her. Dr. Lynn is here. Somehow she took Morgan into the water because she knew Morgan's weakness, and this information was told to her by the head members of the company. Her research proved to be completely correct because Morgan was not able to fight well in water. Lynn had completely caught hold of Morgan and started drowning him in the water. Amy was also watching from a distance. She is watching, but she does not understand what to do in this. Soon, Lynn had killed Morgan by drowning him in water, meaning her mission was now completely completed. But one thing is noticed that there was not much expression on Amy's face. Why was it so? We will know in some time. But now, after finishing Morgan, Lynn immediately came up and pointed her gun at Amy. In fact, we had received orders from the senior officer that all the officers and scientists involved in all these things should be killed right there so that no one else could know about our project. This is the reason why Dr. Lynn had left she takes out her gun and immediately shoots Amy. She also kills her friend who had come to help her because the reason is clear, that the head members do not want the government to know about their illegal project. You should know about it that the government has put a ban on all these things that no one can do on humans, cannot experiment. Yet this private company is secretly following all the procedures and creating such humans who work in a hybrid manner. Then a dark reality was revealed here that Lynn is also one of them, i.e. that Dr. Lynn was not a normal human, but she was also a hybrid human like Morgan, whose performance was much better than Morgan. Lynn had controlled her emotions, and she did only those things that her senior officers told her to do. And now probably the decision of that private company has been finalized, that they will make hybrid humans like Lynn, who do not have any emotions, and they do only what their seniors say, but still those head members forced the scientists that they created hybrid humans like Morgan, who was a part of an experiment to have feelingless humans, and they wanted to confirm which hybrid human is the best between these two versions. Morgan and Lynn They all created Morgan. By doing this, I had already seen the damage caused by it because she had emotions and could feel good things. Morgan liked to be free and had her own desires, but after a point she became very aggressive and started hitting people. On the other hand, Lynn, whom she had first taught a lesson to, became a slave to her own family. She was made like this only. She did not have any emotions. Whatever work was told to Lynn, she would just follow it, and no matter what happens, she was going to complete it. For now, those senior officers needed this type of robots. That is why they decided to shut down Morgan's project forever and make an army of many hybrid humans like Lynn, and they could use this army for their deep research work. This illegal project of that company was not brought to light by anyone. I was not even able to identify them because looking at those hybrid humans, it does not seem that they are robots. This is the reason that those head members could take their project forward without fearing anyone, and with this dangerous ending, our story ends here. So viewers, don't forget to tell me how you liked this story in the comment section, and if you like my story, then you must have liked explanation. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, subscribe to channel and press the bell icon for more stories. Till then, take care.